Hello students, and welcome to another video. I'm your teacher, Mr. Flynn, and today we're going to be doing a instructional video on Lego enzymes. In this lab, you are going to simulate how enzymes put together substrates into forming products. You should have already taken some notes and done some learning by this point so you understand what those terms mean. If not, go find out what the word substrate means. Go look up what enzymes do, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to see how enzymes, okay, you're an enzyme in this example, how time, concentration, and temperature influence how fast you can put together your substrates. Okay, so for example, I have 3 different concentrations of blue Legos, and what we're going to do is put together pieces like this. You're going to clip them together and make a set pair, and then you're going to drop it back in, and then when you pick them back up, you're going to put them together just like that over and over again. Okay, now there's rules to this, all right, when you do it versus time versus concentration. So what I'll do is I will show you what, like for example, what the time will look like, and this is how you're going to fill in your information in this table. If you're in my class, you don't write on these. You're going to just create a table like this on your scratch piece of paper. Okay, so person 1 and person 2, there's going to be 2 people in your group, and you're going to see how many Lego pieces you can put together in 10 seconds. So what you'll do is you'll hit the timer, and you'll close your eyes, and you're going to put together as many as you can. Now don't set them off to the side. Don't do that. Drop them right back in. They all stay inside of the tray. And right there, I hit 10 seconds, or about 11. And I put together 3 in that time. So I would write, for person 1, I would write 3. Okay, and you're going to do this again for, let me put it back up here, for 20 seconds and 40 seconds. You're going to see how time influences how many Lego pieces you can put together. So you're going to do it, and then your partner's going to do it. Okay? All right. Now, the second portion is on concentration, and now the color matters. Okay, color does not matter for the time. Right here, I emphasized it. Color does not matter. But in this one, only blue pieces. So we have a low concentration of blue, a medium concentration of blue, and a high concentration of blue. And what I'm going to do is you're going to have your partner who's going to be timing. So you'll have one person timing, and then you'll have one, and that person timing is going to tell that person yes or no. So I will have my eyes closed, and I will pick them up, and then my partner will say yes or no, right? And so just for this demonstration, my eyes are closed, and then my partner will say no, and I pick up some more. And I just reach in and grab 2 more. I don't just hold one and pick it up like this. Don't do that. Drop them both, and then pick up 2 new pieces. So this is no, and then, oh, yes, I got a match, so then I put it together. And I'm going to do this for 40 seconds for each of them. And I'm going to see how many I can put together based on concentration. Now, you may think, well, Mr. Flynn, that's kind of obvious. If there's low concentrations, I'm only going to be able to put a couple together versus over here, okay? Very rarely do I have all of the blue pieces ever put together in the trays, okay? I'm yet to have a group actually completely just match all of them, okay? All right, so that's how the concentration works, and the tray matters, okay? The first one on time, it doesn't matter what tray you're using, just matching. They all have the same number of Legos. You just have to put them together. And what you're doing is your eyes are closed, and you are an enzyme, because enzymes can't see things. They just react with the things that are in their immediate presence, okay? Okay, the last portion is temperature. So what you're going to do is turn the faucet to cold, and you're going to run your hands under cold water, okay? Because you're going to pretend that enzymes in a cold environment, how do they operate? Well, if you think about it, your hands are colder. You're going to be moving slower, and your ability to put bricks together is going to slow down, okay? But we want to measure that, okay, down here. And what you'll do is you'll compare the results with the up here for 40 seconds when it was standard, and now you're going to have cold hands, and you're going to do it for 40 seconds. You're going to see how much you can do. Okay, the last part to this is calculating the reaction rate. So the rate is how many Legos did you put in per second? Okay, so in this first example, I had 3. So how I calculate that, if I had my calculator right here, I did have it right here. Okay. Okay, so all I do is I type in 3 divided by 10 seconds, and that gives me 0.3. That is my rate. So I put 0.3. And you should see a trend between 10, 20, and 40 seconds. And then down here, you're going to calculate the rate again. You should see a trend between low, medium, and high concentrations. So what I'd like you to do, all right, is to calculate this after the lab is over. So go do the lab for each part, and then come back and then do the calculations. All right, you will need to be putting these things into your workbook. I'm looking for these answers at the end because you says you have to provide evidence. Well, what's your evidence? Okay, and then at the end, when you provide your evidence, you'll need to calculate the average. All right, so you have 1 and person 2. So you'll add those together and then divide by 2. So let's just say, for example, I had 3 Legos, and then my partner had 4 Legos put together. So that would be 0.3 and 0.4. And I would add those together, so 0.3 plus 0.4, and then divide by 2 to get the average because there's 2 of us. And that gives me 0.35. Now, that's a better answer because I got 3 and they got 0.3 and 4. Okay, we need to be able to see an average because we collected more than one result. Okay, so just divide it by 2 to get that average. And then put that in your workbook. Okay, that's what I'm looking for, is that average number. Okay, if you're putting in your workbook numbers like 4, 5, 6, I'm going to see quickly that you didn't do this right. I would like you to put the decimal numbers into your notes. Okay, and then we can develop a trend and we can see that. Okay, all right. Thanks again for watching. If you have any questions, please come talk with me.